There are words you've never been told, but you needed to hear them your whole life. You needed someone to say, "I'm proud of you." Even when you were just surviving, barely making it through the day, that was still strength. And I'm proud of that strength. You needed someone to say, "It's okay to rest. You're not lazy, you're human. You've been carrying too much for too long. It's okay to breathe. It's okay to stop." The world won't fall apart if you take care of yourself. You needed someone to say, "Your pain is real. What you went through wasn't just a phase. It wasn't small. It hurt, and you didn't deserve it. And you are allowed to still feel it, even now." You needed someone to say, "You did your best. And even if it didn't work out the way you hoped, that doesn't mean you failed." Effort counts. Surviving counts. Showing up counts. You needed someone to say, "You're not too late. Your story isn't over. Just because someone else found their light before you doesn't mean yours won't shine." Timing is personal. Your chapter is still being written. You needed someone to say, "You are enough." Even with your flaws, even with your past, even with your doubts, you don't need to earn love. You don't need to prove your worth. You are enough, right now, as you are. You needed someone to say, "You're allowed to let go of the people who hurt you, of the weight you weren't meant to carry, of the guilt you never deserved." Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means forgiving yourself. You needed someone to say, "You're not alone," even when you felt like no one saw you. Even when the world was loud, but your silence was louder. Someone, somewhere, understands. I promise, you are not alone. You needed someone to say, "It's not your fault. Not everything broken was your doing. Not every goodbye was your failure. You can stop punishing yourself for what wasn't in your control." You needed someone to say, "You matter. Not because of what you do, but because of who you are. There is something only you bring into this world. Your smile, your laugh, your story. They matter more than you think." You needed someone to say, "The storm won't last forever." Even when it felt like it would. Even when the rain kept falling. Darkness has a way of convincing us it will never end. But every night eventually meets its sunrise. You needed someone to say, "You're doing better than you think." Maybe you don't see the progress yet. But every tear you held back, every step you took, every time you stayed, that's progress. You needed someone to say, "You are lovable." Even if you were abandoned. Even if someone made you feel like a burden, their failure to love you was never a reflection of your value. You are worthy of love that stays. You needed someone to say, "You can start over. You are not stuck. One bad chapter doesn't define the whole book. You are allowed to dream again, love again, live again, even if you had to begin from rock bottom." You needed someone to say, "You're strong." Not because nothing broke you, but because nothing kept you broken. You kept going when you didn't have to. You kept believing when there was no reason to. You kept living even when life felt empty. And if no one has ever said it to you before, I'm proud of you. You are worthy. You are enough. And I'm glad you're still here. These are the words you needed to hear. So today, take them. Keep them. Repeat them to yourself when it gets heavy again. Because one day, you'll be the voice someone else needs. One day you'll speak life into someone drowning in silence. And you'll say the words, the same words, that once saved you.